Big win for Johnny. Kate Moss destroys Amber Heard in cross-examination. Welcome to Drama Hub. Let's discuss 3 aspects of the case in this video today. We're going to discuss, in her testimony last week in the trial over Johnny Depp's lawsuit, Amber Heard mentioned Kate Moss. It could lead to new evidence on former relationships, according to people close to Depp. In 2009, Heard was arrested for domestic assault. Her ex-girlfriend claimed it was exaggerated. Amber Heard recalled an explosive confrontation with Johnny Depp after she discovered text messages that led her to suspect he was being unfaithful before stepping down from the witness stand for a week-long break from her trial. Kate Moss, she said, was someone few expected to come up in the trial. Heard claimed she swung at Depp during a fight because Depp was beating her sister, Whitney Heard, who was standing on the top of a stairwell, according to Heard. No doubt impatient. I remembered Kate Moss's stairway and punched him. Known, Heard seems to be referring to an unproven accusation that Depp once pushed Moss down the stairs. Moss has praised Depp in interviews and never accused him of wrongdoing.
Of instigating something in a situation I explained yesterday.
And you also told Mr. Depp that sometimes you get so mad you lose it, correct?
That's correct. I also explained the context of that fight yesterday.
Isn't that exactly what you told?
Documents obtained by insiders show that Depp has retained the right to call any witnesses specified by Heard and any witness required for rebuttal or impeachment. Before a trial, lawyers determine appropriate evidence. Both sides' lawyers spend months undertaking discovery, searching each other's paperwork and interviewing witnesses to find verifiable, relevant material. Heard and Depp are in a legal battle over who hurt whom during their 2016 marriage. According to a source close to the case, motions detailing the evidence were filed under seal to avoid jeopardizing the trial. Heard may have opened the door for additional evidence to disprove her account of events by addressing the Moss claim and publicizing her injuries. Chu became animated when Heard mentioned Moss. According to a person acquainted with Depp's thinking, Heard's allusion to Moss will undoubtedly come up in cross-examination. Since Heard just briefly mentioned Moss, her testimony may not be relevant. However, if Heard goes into detail about her feelings about Moss, Depp's lawyers may decide to urge the judge to bring Moss to the witness and put the rumor to test, according to this source. The argument that Johnny Depp's lawyers is likely to make is that if this is an unverified story and now it's in front of the jury, the jurors will be wondering whether Johnny did, in fact, do something to Kate Moss. Retired Los Angeles judge Halim Danidina told Insider. And the easiest way to counter that is to bring Kate Moss here and tell the jury what a nice guy he is and how he has never been aggressive with her. The case should be complicated by Heard's arrest for domestic abuse. According to a source acquainted with Depp's thinking, Depp's lawyers would love to persuade the judge to allow questions about Heard's ex-girlfriend Tasia Van Ree. Heard was detained at the Seattle airport in 2009 in a minor domestic violence charge after slapping Van Ree in the arm during an altercation. The allegations were ultimately dismissed, and in 2016, Van Ree told E! News that Heard had been wrongfully implicated for an incident that was misconstrued and over-sensationalized by 2 individuals in a strong position. Heard's reference of Moss sounded premeditated, according to Krista Ramey, a co-founder of the Los Angeles civil litigation company Ramey Law PC, and may have gone against her legal team's desires. My Google Analytics and LinkedIn searches increased dramatically once I started trial. Even though jurors aren't supposed to, they do so all the time, Rami explained. It would be a significant risk in any instance if the court didn't want unfounded rumors or previous ties to enter the case, and Heard did it anyway. Vanidina explained that this implies the judge would have to consider what additional types of evidence could be presented in the case. If an attorney or a witness decides to risk going against my ruling in the hopes that everything will stay the same, Vanidina, now an attorney at Worksman Jackson and Quinn LLP, told Insider, it puts me as a judge in a very difficult position of needing to maintain the integrity and the fairness of the trial. Depp's previous romances could possibly be a factor in the case. Brett Ward, co-chair of Blank Rome's matrimonial and family law department, believes Heard's name drop was too skillful to have happened without the assistance of a legal team. Heard avoided Depp's legal team objecting to the testimony on hearsay grounds by simply admitting she was thinking of Moss at the time, rather than repeating the story, he claimed. But it may turn out to be a mistake, Ward said, because it opens the door for Depp's legal team to call Moss and other ex-girlfriends to testify about his behavior. It's not a given that Moss will praise Depp. She hasn't addressed the stairwell claim in public. Depp also revealed in a 1998 interview with Rolling Stone that he may have informed Hunter S. Thompson that his relationship with Moss featured beating in a talk with the writer. He immediately zeroes in on flaws and positive points, Depp told the magazine. I was with Kate and I believe he went straight from the romance juggler, questioning whether I had beaten her sufficiently. Yeah, she has a terrible pounding, I probably told him. Other past lovers have publicly stated that Depp was a great boyfriend. Vanessa Paradis and Winona Ryder, Depp's ex-girlfriends, both signed statements in support of the actor during his libel lawsuit against the UK tabloid The Sun, which had called him a wife abuser in reports about Heard. The judge ruled that Heard's claims were substantially true and Depp lost the lawsuit. Depp was never violent or abusive to me, and she had always known him to be a non-violent person, according to Paradis, who dated Depp for 14 years and is the mother of his 2 children. I've seen that these terrible words have been extremely painful as well as damaging to his career, Paradis wrote. Ryder stated that hearing about Heard's allegations left her totally startled, bewildered, and sad because Depp was never aggressive or abusive throughout their 4-year relationship in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Depp's team is embarrassed by cross-examination. Heard may have made similar mistakes in the past, such as when she reported on a 2015 encounter with Depp. They lived in Australia while Depp was filming Pirates of the Caribbean 6. Depp said Heard hurled a vodka bottle at him on March 7th. Depp says it smashed on his hand and severed his middle finger. Heard says Depp was intoxicated when he flung cans and bottles at her, sexually attacked her with one of the bottles, and cut off the tip of his finger with one of the bottles. Thursday's evidence included a bloody guitar. Depp, a guitarist, wouldn't cut off his finger since he loves the instrument. Heard never played the guitar when asked if she caused the streaks. Several of Depp's Twitter followers noted Heard's guitar experience. In One More Time, she plays a rock star. Her left hand is shown strumming and playing well-known chords, hinting she learned them. Depp's lawyers may petition for the movie trailer or clips to be entered into evidence, and the judge would decide if her presence in the film meets the proof standards. Heard claims Depp's broken bottles and windows sliced up her feet during the Australia confrontation. While Depp was brought to 2 hospitals to have his finger reattached, witnesses alleged Heard did not seek medical assistance. Heard must address the difference in cross-examination. The guitar and feet concerns, according to a source close to Depp's thinking, are among an embarrassment of riches that the actor's lawyers may bring up in cross-examination, contradicting his assertions.
15th incident that provided ample testimony to support that Ms. Heard often would cover her bruises that were caused by the...
Heard's attorneys argued that throughout cross-examination of Depp's doctor and each of his staffers about the incident, none of them were focused on whether Heard was wounded. Their job was to look after and safeguard Depp. Danny Dina said the judge would have to decide how much outside material jurors would be allowed to see in order to determine the truth. Most judges, especially in this case, would allow at least some contrary evidence to be accepted if it impeaches something a witness has said, he said. When the judge tells the jury on how to determine whom to believe, it's critical to assess their credibility. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel for more new videos.